10 phrases from the empath that crush the narcissist, and let's take a look at those 10 phrases. From empathic individuals who will leave the narcissistic person without resources. Remember to subscribe and leave me a comment. And stay until the end because I saved the best for last in my personal conclusion. Well, the first phrase that you can say, or that is said to a narcissistic person that can crush a narcissistic profile by an empathetic person is, "That's not my problem. What happens?" Well, the thing is, they will always try to shift the responsibility onto others, right? They will always try to make sure that it's not their problem precisely. They are experts at shifting the blame onto others and evading that responsibility. So when we say, "That's not my problem," what we are really saying is, "I'm not going to rescue you again. I'm not going to try to rescue you. I won't be there for you. I'm not going to keep validating or rescuing you. From the problems you create for yourself in the end, then you will truly learn. You will have to start. You will have to start. Figure things out on your own." What happens? How can the narcissist interpret it? Well, they might simply think, hey, this person has realized or suspect, or perhaps they directly realize that I don't have control here anymore. And in this way, they can somehow dismiss and start looking for another supplement who will be there for them through thick and thin. Next phrase, that a narcissist can't stand from an empathetic person and that crushes them. The empathetic person crushes them if they say these things. If you say these things, be very careful because we can end up seriously angering the narcissistic person, and depending on their profile, the degree of narcissism. It can be that the reaction is violent, so be very careful with saying this. I tell it to you by way of information, and it remains as information. This is only an informative channel. I completely disassociate myself and take no responsibility for the use of these words, of the use that these words may have, because they are merely reports. Next sentence, I owe you nothing. Here the empath or the empathetic person is reaffirming themselves as an individual. They are truly asserting a tribute to his self-respect, themselves in the rightful place, and here they are already telling the narcissist that they will not continue to allow themselves to be mistreated nor manipulated so easily. We are establishing limits. I don't owe you anything, or it is not my problem. Of course, there the narcissist begins to see limits, the profile, and say, phew, here this is not that easy. It's no longer for me. There's not validation or salvation for me. The third option is a word. It is the most powerful word that you can find when dealing with a narcissistic profile, and it's no. Again, there is a tribute to the person who has been so beaten down at times, and the establishment of necessary boundaries, Very important, and starting to respect oneself is the most important thing. It is the beginning of the healing journey that you have to undertake at an individual level, the beginning of rediscovering oneself. So start saying no and respect your boundaries, your needs, and yourself. Next very important phrase. To control the narcissist, to crush the manipulative intentions, is I can't or I don't. Manipulative intentions is I can't or I won't do it directly. Here again we find a resistance. We offer a resistance, a refusal. Notice that all of these phrases are positioning you as the person in a place of reference, in a place. You are in a way bringing that person down from their pedestal and positioning yourself at their level. Such a relationship is not necessary, and it is never necessary to have a relationship that is so unbalanced. The law of the funnel should never prevail, therefore it is not necessary. Sorry, then I can't or won't do it. Again, it clues the narcissistic person that you're not going to be there for him, that you're not going to do what he says no matter how much he wants you to. No, you're no longer, suddenly there's no reinforcement there. The supplementation is no longer offering any reinforcement. Next important phrase is I'm busy or I don't have time. A lot of times we are sought after and then discarded and sought after and discarded and sought after depending on the interest. This happens very blatantly in friendship relationships. In couples it is usually more useful. In friendships it is usually more blatant. Well, all of a sudden, hey, this person has come back because, look, well, I don't have time, I'm busy. And so you set some limits. You crush the interest of that person and you put yourself in your place. It's like saying, hey, that's enough. What have you thought? You've already made fun of me, but that's as far as it goes. They are also ways of saying it without saying it, putting yourself in your place, respecting yourself and yourself above all else in the first place. Well, the next phrase that the narcissistic person doesn't like and that, well, then it will crush their intentions is you have to stop now. Sometimes they're very subtle manipulations, sometimes they're gaslighting, whatever, you have to stop now. I'm not going to continue here in your good graces letting you do whatever you want, right? Well, no. Well, for social networks, messages, WhatsApps, all this stuff that nowadays there is so much, right? So much interaction and so much damage that is so easily manipulated. They use them very well to manipulate. They are very good at manipulating these social networks. They have managed to fit it very well into their modus operandi. Well, I couldn't hear your message. I didn't hear your message, not whatever. Simply implying that you hear that there is no longer an express will, you are no longer there is no interest, okay? It's a sign of lack of interest. Hey, I'm not interested. I didn't listen to your message. I didn't care. The truth is, I didn't even remember you, you are saying. Next important sentence, this is not right or you are wrong. Already there you are making him doubt arise. They don't like to come face to face with that insecurity, with that lack of confidence. It can't be that you are somehow doubting their capabilities. That can't be. And when empathic people, other people who are not of the narcissistic profile, begin to doubt and begin to criticize, or rather to doubt the capabilities of the narcissist, they can become scared because they are being confronted with their greatest fears, which are low self-esteem, the great insecurity he has. So when you tell them, no, this is not right, or you are wrong, it's a personal attack on his person. And he's going to let you know it. Next sentence, let's go in order of complication growth, shall we? Next sentence, you are a liar, a coward, or a bully. Be careful with this phrase. Never say it because it's a direct thought. At best, you are a liar, you are a manipulator, or you are a coward. But be very careful. It is not necessary to say it, however, this phrase does crush again a narcissistic profile. Man, it would crush everyone, really, wouldn't it? And here comes the difference. A person with normal intelligence, normal emotional intelligence, understand me, an empathic person with all his qualities intact, his attributes, his empathy, etc., could refute you. Hey, well, I might even question it. Hey, well, maybe you're right and I'm wrong. I'm sorry, right? I could say a normal person. However, this type of people are not going to do it. They will take it very badly, interpreting it as a personal attack against themselves. A very big offense, and they will never forgive it. They have no capacity for forgiveness. They have no capacity to reflect on the damage done. They do not question being wrong, so it is going to be very difficult. It is going to be very difficult so that this sentence does not fall as a direct personal offense, as an insult. Last sentence, we have come this far. Remember to subscribe, comment me, share, join the channel VIP student members to access all the content, a lot of content, self-esteem workshops, and much more information that I will provide you. Necessary for your personal growth and for you, so that every day you are more confident, more secure, happier, calmer. That emotional intelligence so necessary, I always say that in schools above all should be a compulsory subject. Join VIP student and start enjoying all the sales. And the next one, the last sentence, is hard. It's hard, and I don't recommend saying it to a narcissist because it can provoke a reaction, provoke a complicated reaction. The last sentence is go away, get lost. What does this mean? That we are discarding him. We are directly telling him that this is it, this is the end. He is not going to be able to manipulate you anymore. And in a way, you're also telling him, I found you out. Go away, I found you out. I'm not going to be there for you anymore. It's over. Is that necessary? No, I don't recommend to inform Really, it's not necessary. Actually, if you are so clear about it, you go away. You go away. And definitely discard it for life. This person is really contributing something to you. No, he is taking something away from you. Yes, a lot. He is taking away my life, my health, my emotions. He is complicating my life. He is taking away my peace, isn't he? Well, if we put on a scale, you know what really wins? However, if you want to crush the narcissistic profile a go, for example, in a social context, in a friendly relationship, to put it in a particular moment in its place, a touch of attention could be given. But of course, the consequences will always be the same. It will be taken as a direct attack, as an insult, as a lack of respect, and besides, he will never forgive it. He will always have it there in a privileged position. In a privileged position to take revenge. Here, any aggravation will be taken into account to take revenge. Take revenge, be very clear, and this goes as a final reflection, that all these phrases that an empath can use to crush a narcissist in the end are going to be a grievance. In the end, they are going to be a personal insult, a personal attack on the person with the narcissistic profile, even if they are not, right? They're going to take it that way. And they are going to take it as a personal attack. They are going to try to take revenge. That if you think about the possibility of saying any of these phrases, that you know that the only way for there not to be a counterpoint, a return, a revenge on their part, is for you to initiate zero contact afterwards. It is very important to know this. That is to say, you have to count. You have to know what you can count on. What can you count on? Nothing. We have come this far, and what do we count on? With ourselves, with what we have prepared ourselves to initiate the zero contact, because this is over. There is no more. There is no turning of the page when we start with this type of interpersonal relationship and interaction, where respect is borderline, because of course, where does your respect begin and mine end, right? A fine line. So to regain my respect that you have taken away from me because you have stepped over my boundaries, I don't disrespect you, but you have the impression that I do because the fork was too big. Well, I'll leave it here. If you have come this far, don't forget to subscribe, comment me, share this valuable content with that person. I'm sure it will be very useful. Thanks for making it this far, and I'll see you.